has allowed you to advertise, while my bar council is not allowing me to advertise. First of all, I think that uh, some of us go by the Advocate Act and we do not make advertisement, but some of us make the exception and they ruin the law and they make their touts to do the job, make the politician to do their job. They canvass through that channel. If the because advertising do not to make the advertisement is the rules of bar council, not of government, because we are run by the Advocates Act, and bar council is the statutory body, and statutory body has made the rules that as our job is of dignity, we should not advertise about our practice. So the bar council should think over it that some of the lawyers who are doing really good job and they have the vision to change the perspective of the law. Right now, you asked sir that the success fee type of system in Land Acquisition Act, also in the motor accident claims. Many of the advocates are doing that job only, but that is against the Advocates Act. Sure, but so they are doing, but many of the lawyers like us are is not going to that channel because that is illegal one. But if the bar council allows each of us by the provision that we can uh, take that kind of fees or we can advertisement, it will be uh, putting the equality for the all the advocates. That is my thought.
Right. So tell us a little bit about what you do and what city you're in, and how is ILA going in that city?
Uh, Sir, I am in the Jalgaon city. It is a district place, and the city is it's growing, but we have this agriculture based economy here. We have MIDC, that Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, but it is working in a specific area like that is also agro based materials like dal, banana, some kind of things. So we mostly related with the agriculture related cases, with the personal property cases, and as far as my practice goes, since 2007 I started practice. I'm graduated from ILS Law College, Pune. In the year 2007, I started practice at Jalgaon. Initially, as everybody, most of the advocates uh, like the criminal practice, I did that only criminal practice till 2015. But later on, I had a vision to start my law firm. So since 2015, I am in the various type of litigation, civil, criminal, family, and moreover, I am practicing in the banking sector because I think that is the most flourishing sector where the advocates can earn continuously, can work continuously, means 24/7 I am working, because that is the good thing for the cities like us to earn money, to be in the job. So this is my way of practice. And ILA, as far as ILA is concerned, we have formed the all the we have appointed all the category of persons who have been assigned to us, and we have been meeting continuously. In the next month, we have decided to make a huge seminar and we are going to do it with the collaboration of ILS SS Maniar Law College with Rotary Club Jalgaon and with Legal Aid Center, Legal Services
Perfect.
Authority.
That's the way to do events in collaboration with everyone. That's wonderful. Um, Thank you. So, Gitesh, you're the new president of the ILA Alwar chapter.
Yes, sir. I am looking Alwar and Jaipur both. Last week he had given me the responsibility of both the chapters.
Okay. How are things in Alwar?
So Alwar, I had connected with all the colleges of the Alwar. They are all ready to be participating in this ILA chapter, and in fact, they are very enthusiastic. I had seen the enthusiasm in them. As the Alba is a little backward area, so they are seeing it as a big opportunity to get associated with such an association, and being their students getting such a level of competency and such a level of the things that they will get after getting associated with us.
So,
So
Gitesh, wanted to ask you, are there some legal myths that are popular in India that are making our citizens making wrong decisions in everyday life?
so basically, the biggest problem in India is not the lack of law. It is basically the fear of law. The people are basically fear, or there is a fear of law. आप लोगों में से कितने लोगों ने सुना होगा कोर्ट जाना मतलब सालों कोर्ट के चक्कर लगाना, but they don't know about they are still available, there are ADRs available, there are more avenues available for them which are cheaper, which are simpler, which are lesser time consuming, and all of them. But the thing is that who will educate them? It's our responsibility to educate them. And as the lawyer says, advertising the lawyer, I come to the thing. So a lawyer doesn't need an advertisement. If he is proficient enough, and if he is well versed with the knowledge and well versed with the thing, then the clients get automatically attracted towards him. He doesn't have to go to the clients.
Right.
And so, as Ankit said, uh, he's born and brought up in Dehradun and seeing the city evolving. There are several rights which are being declined of the less advantageous ones by the more advantageous people. The what do you call it? The sack of the sacks. I think something is there. Some proverb is there. The of sacks, something like that.
So, Gitesh, if you look at the 100 people that got us independence, 75 of them were lawyers. So these lawyers were able to kick out the British government with and the British army with weapons. What's up with today's lawyers? Why are we tolerating all this nonsense? And why aren't we creating a rebellion? And uh, all of these bad laws that are actually affecting all of our citizens, and they're not getting justice. There's 60 million pending cases. The government of India is either plaintiff or defendant in half of them. 15
So
million of them are
basically, in
criminal
India,
matters.
the problem is that the law is made after, before that, the sublanes of the law are made. The sublanes means the escaping lanes are prepared before the law is prepared, before the law is amended. The sublanes are amended for the privileged ones. And by the misuse of, you may say, the misuse of those lanes, it is not getting possible for that thing. But
Right, but because of all this bad stuff, 90% of the lawyers in India are not making as much money as they should. So, Hitesh, why are we putting up with all this? Why are we not up in arms?
so,
Let me ask Hitesh this. I'll come back to you, Hitesh.
so as we don't, everyone doesn't have the arm license. And as in US, the arms are allowed. There is no license required for arms.
But Gandhi and Nehru had lathis, right? And salt marches.
But that
So,
that time has gone. Now the
yeah.
lathis don't work.
So, Hitesh, why are we putting up with all of this? Why are we not up in arms or making noise?
So we should make the noise, but there is no such platforms and no such forums, and there is no such unity among the lawyers that the noise
Okay.
is heard by the government in the ears of the government.
Let's get you
If
some
the noise
co-counsel.
is made, if the noise is made proficiently, if the noise is made with a
Yeah. So let's
that,
get you
it should be
some
heard by the
co-counsel.
government.
Let's get you some co-counsel. Mr. Ramchandani, what do you think? Why are you not making noise?
Sir, I think instead of making the noise, I think there should be a promotion of ODR centers, promotion of ADR centers, wherein more and more we can empanel with arbitrators, mediators. We can train arbitrators, mediators, so that the matters get resolved through arbitrations, negotiations, and mediations instead of going to the court cases. Yesterday itself, I saw one post into the Instagram wherein it was stated that a person at the age of 55 in 1968 there was a land dispute. He filed a matter before the lower court and he won that matter. But the other side of the party appealed it before the high court, and the high court had overturned the ruling. And later on, that aggrieved person again filed the matter before the Supreme Court. Now, at the age of 108, he died, and still the matter is going on, and the legal heirs are still fighting out. So this was the I mean this was the news of 2021 wherein a person of 108 died. I feel that people are at the whole age are going to the court, getting exhausted, and they are not getting the justice in a time manner. So I feel that there should be more and more promotion of ODR centers, more and more promotions of ADR institutions, wherein the matters can be resolved through arbitration, mediations, and negotiations, and there will be
The
a huge
lok adalats are
efficiency
there.
into the cases.
Government has started the lok adalats where the matters are getting solved in a single lok adalat. At a single event of a lok adalat, I'd say thousands of cases are solved at one go.
So, Mr. Ramchandani, if a consumer is cheated by a company, what is the fastest and most effective legal remedy available today?
First of all, there can be many reasons wherein a consumer can be cheated. It can be, I mean, Flipkart, e-commerce site, or it can be through a ticket which he has booked through aviation or whatever. It can be any reasons. So in that perspective, first step he can do is that he can drop an email to the company saying that these are my grievances and please try to resolve it. So it will be a first step of negotiation wherein he will directly try to negotiate between to the company. If it fails, then he can lodge a complaint at the PG portal cell, that is pgportal.gov.in. It is a public grievance cell initiated by the government of India, wherein he can file a complaint before the Ministry of Consumer Affairs. So each Ministry of Consumer Affairs has allotted a core cell, consumer organized complaint cell, wherein they take up the complaints and of the consumers and they forward it to the concerned companies. Now what happens, they also try to negotiate it. So whenever a consumer files a complaint before the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, it gets redirected to the core center, and it goes to the directly to the company. So there is also a negotiation at that level also. If that fails, then the consumer is at liberty to approach before the consumer forum. So right now I cannot directly say that yes, if there is any dispute, then every consumer should go to the consumer forum. The first step it should be done that there should be some negotiations. If it gets resolved, so my first suggestion is that first try to send an email to the company stating all the grievances. If that doesn't give a positive sense, then file a complaint before the PG portal. If that also doesn't work, then only go to the consumer forums. Now there are consumer forums where in the there is three forums, that is district consumer forums, state consumer forum, and national consumer forum. So depending on the claim and depending on the compensation, a consumer can file a complaint before the district consumer forum, state consumer forum, or a national consumer forum. There is a pecuniary limit also, that up to 50 lakhs it will be to district consumer forums. Above 50 lakhs to 2 crores it will be before the state consumer forums, and above 2 crores will be before the national consumer forums. But one thing I would like to say, that in consumer forums a consumer need not have to approach through an advocate. So that is a very easiest thing that a government has done for the benefit of the consumers. And the one more thing is that based on only on the documents, uh, the courts can give an award in the court can give an order in favor of the consumers. So there is no cross examination to be done, it's only based on the documents. So I think the government has taken some steps wherein they have formulated the steps wherein it will be for the beneficial of the consumers, and these are the steps wherein the consumers can approach for. Secondly, I would like to say that government had earlier initiated Cofonet, wherein whenever a matter has been filed before the consumer forums, then they can track it out online. But now that Cofonet has been changed to a Jagruti website, e-Jagruti website, wherein a consumer can directly file an online complaint. Then based on that there will be a physical hearings also before the district forums or district courts nearby, and based on that he can get the status of the cases as to what is the stage of the case, and accordingly he can be get updated of what is the stage accordingly of the consumer matters. But one thing I would like to say, that only the consumer forums has the power to give that compensation to the consumers. So if he approaches through Ministry of Consumer Affairs, or if he files a complaint before the pgportal.gov.in, or at the court centers wherein the complaint is forwarded to the court centers, they do not have the powers to grant a consumer compensation for mental agony and mental harassment. So only the consumer forums has the power to grant compensation cost to the consumer for the mental agony and mental harassment.
So
So
that is
Hitesh, you're president of ILA Thane, the city of 30 lakes and wonderful parks. I used to be an industrial hub, and now all kinds of malls and IT. So the question I have of you is, how are you going to compete with this big Mumbai ILA?
First of all, I feel that there should be more and more awareness to the common people. We should also take up some seminars and tie-ups with the law colleges. Then we should also tie-ups with the organizations, NGOs, so that more and more people get connected to the ILS, and they should know, there should be an awareness of the law, because I feel that there is no awareness of the law to the common people. So this way we can connect with the larger public, to the larger public, and thus we can give the knowledge to the common people at large.
So
on
Ankit, yeah,
uh, sorry to say, on 26th I am starting the Bono clinic at Jaipur.
great, wonderful. So Ankit, what is Dehradun famous for?
Well, sir, Dehradun is famous for its basmati rice, which I have personally not really seen much of cultivation going on now. Dehradun is famous for if you go up in the hills, especially Rudraprayag. That's my home district. So in the hills, we have rhododendron juices, the flower rhododendron which grows up high in the mountains and the trees. It's a really delicious sweet fruit flower, and they make very delicious juices for it. So Dehradun is it's a beautiful city. It's a small city, and there used to be a time when people knew everybody in the city. So, but
So
now,
the
There was one
famous,
case, may I ask him, there was one case related to Basmati. You know about it? Are you aware about it?
no, sir, no. I
The
cannot.
IPR rights of the Basmati Chawal.
Yes, I think so. I have a bit heard about this thing, the basmati rice thing. But as I say, sir, now
China
Dehradun.
had made the claim that the Basmati belongs to them.
Uh,
And there was a long, very long case had gone on. Then it was
well,
granted on
we
the
we don't have to worry about that case anymore because this basmati rice is finished anyways, right? It's gone.
so it is not yet finished and not yet served.
Yeah. But I think the overuse of the soil or whatever has happened, and
So, but it was
uh,
a landmark case.
remember when our parents used to cook basmati rice at home, you could smell it from down the street, and now you can't.
And
Um, so let's talk about women, Ankit. What legal protections do women now have at home, work, public spaces that people don't know about or don't understand them?
so it's a very good question. I feel that in today's world, when we can deal this question in three parts probably. Women at home. So when women is at home, usually we look at in a broader sense, we see that there is a lot of domestic violence at times. And domestic violence is not only physical, it can happen mental, it can be some other ways, but only looking domestic violence as a physical abuse would be giving a very narrow stream to it. So women have rights under the Domestic Violence Act, which is a very good legislation and is very broad. However, one thing which is not seen or which is misunderstood here by a lot of women is that one has to be out, or one should have to be out of the matrimonial home to file or seek remedy using the Domestic Violence Act. But it's not like that. You can get protection orders being in your matrimonial home also. So that legislation is quite good. Uh, One more thing is that a lot of women, when they face these challenges, especially at home, they do not make any complaints, or as we know that the legal knowledge is very limited, or the right to approach where to should a person go in such circumstances, the women may simply, the best and the easiest way is just dialing a helpline number for women, which is usually available in most of the cities. States have it specifically. There are national helpline numbers. A woman can easily call them and approach and tell them, because that is one of the basic things one can do. Once you start that process, you actually get access to other information, which are subsequent stages to it. A women at work. Now, this is very important as our workforce is growing. Many women are stepping out. The Indian household had earlier been conservative, but today women are stepping out of homes and are working at places. Uh, as we all come from the legal background, we all know about the very popular Vishakha guidelines, which the Supreme Court had laid down. In 2013, there was this POSH Act which was enacted, considering that every organization with more than 10 employees is required to have an internal complaints committee. So any sexual harassment or any harassment at workplace. Now we have to see that harassment is not always sexual. It could be, stalking, harassment at workplace, maybe directed towards making comments or something like that. So in those cases, a woman has power, or could raise a complaint to the internal complaints committee of that organization, which could thereafter look into the matter. And if it's a serious matter, women may directly approach to the concerned police station. They can lodge a zero FIR. They have a lot of rights to it. So usually with all this, even at home or at workplace, and very important, with like this was for home, then we have workplace. And if we look at other places like online or something like that, women face a lot of challenges there. So the basic thing which one could do is raise their voices, and raising their voice using the platform of which the government is providing, uh, you know, uh, through the helpline numbers, one could easily approach it, or through the organizational heads, human resource person, the concerned person could be contacted. Of course, there are legislation to it, like the Domestic Violence Act, like the POSH Act, and everything like that. But this is how one could go step by step, and the basic things are all that, how that women's legal rights could be protected. So
And the
this is
BNS also, sir, right now with the change of law in the BNS, there are several extra rights given to the women in the
true,
BNS.
true, sir, true.
So Mahesh, you mentioned you were doing criminal work for a number of years. So of the 60 million or so pending cases, a quarter of them are criminal matters. And I talked to a judge recently, and he said, I have a criminal trial tomorrow. And I said, uh, when was the person charged, or when did the case began? And he said 14 years ago. So I think a lot of people have, if they who didn't have money for a bail, if they just pled guilty on day one, they would have been out. I've heard that people who finished their sentence, even they're hanging around the jails and not being released. And now, if you look at the developed world and other countries, and uh, some countries, about 95% of criminal matters are resolved by plea bargaining. A deal is made without a trial, before a trial, between the prosecutor, the defense counsel, and the judge approves it. And the number of cases that are getting resolved in India by plea bargaining is about 1%. So if 15 million pending cases, criminal matters, if we could do plea bargaining, 90% of them could be done with in 1 month. So what's going on?
Sir, first of all, I think there are lot many criminal cases are pending. For most of them, the numbers of judges are very less. The second thing, even the approach of defense lawyer is that we smell out that in some of the cases the the culprit is going to be punished. So delay is the best tactics for the defense lawyer. So, and in some of the cases, the investigation machinery do not come forward, and they do not chase the prosecution that it should go as soon as possible. And in some of the cases, the complainant, the informant is weak person. So this is the scenario, but nowadays it is somehow changing. Like we have mislead Legal Services Authority has started up the with the new concept of defense lawyer. Defense system is that the government is paying to the defense lawyer out of pocket, and the poor, the poor section of the persons who are in the jail are getting the good lawyers. So this is the positive aspect that we can see. Even in rape cases, the process is somehow fastened. We can see from the Nirbhaya case of 2012, the scenario is changed to looking into the matter of rape cases, and it is going in a faster manner. But some people, they are still mis- escaping from the process by paying huge amount to the system, to the advocates, and all the things, and they are dealing the matters. As far as plea bargaining is concerned, India is a country of emotions, and we only plea bargain in some of the matter which are not considered heinous. But as far as plea bargaining is concerned, Miss candidly, if I speak, in most of the cases, the accused makes hostile to the witnesses, and that is kind of out of way plea bargaining for the Indians, because we don't say, we usually want to say that we are honest, but we are not honest at all. So this is the condition. And as far as plea bargaining is concerned, I think it should be brought into the practice, because that is the only practical approach. Because in most apart from rape cases, I think, because rape is not a condition which is quick intent or something else. In most of the cases, plea bargaining can be introduced so that the cases can be resorted out.
Right.
And and
I never did much criminal law till I figured out what really happens in criminal work. And then if somebody's, we don't necessarily solicit it or encourage it, but if somebody comes with a criminal matter, I take it, because all it is I have to call up the prosecutor and make a deal with them. The prosecutor says 3 years and $50,000. I say no, 30 days and 2,000. And then he says, okay, 35,000 and 1 year. And then a week later, and then we end up in court. And if you go to criminal court, it's a meat market.
I
There's defense
uh,
counsel and prosecutors standing in corners, bargaining with each other. Then all of a sudden, one person raises their hand, and the judge is sitting there. And the judge says, okay, come on forward. What case have you made a deal on? We give the name of the case. The judge looks at it and he says, okay, the charge was 3 years and 50,000, and you guys are settling for 3 months and 1 month of community service and $4,000. Okay, fine, good enough. It was the first charge. Go ahead. And the judge signs and we're done. So, two, three phone calls, one or two court visits, and the matter is done. And the prosecutor doesn't want to do a trial because we say to the prosecutor that, hey, if you're not going to give me what I want, then I want a trial. Then I want all the data you have, all the file you have. I want copies of everything. I want to depose these people. And then we'll have a jury trial. And so the government will waste thousands of dollars in the prosecutor's time. And then we'll waste 12 jurors and two alternate jurors, 14 jurors, 1 week time. And then if you don't like what happened, we'll file an appeal. And this is a waste of government resources. And you have 5,000 cases to do, Mr. or Miss Prosecutor. Just let this one go and make a deal with us. And 99% of the time, we make a deal. One time recently, there was a new judge, and the prosecutor, and by the way, I go to court uh, occasionally on criminal matters, once a year maybe. And the first thing I do is I tell the prosecutor that, hey, I don't do criminal law. Okay. And I just took it for XYZ reasons. So help me. And so I asked the prosecutor to help me. And most prosecutors are fine. So they're like, okay. So I said, I need lesser time and lesser money. And so the prosecutor says to me, we're in front of a new judge. He's not going to give you anything because it'll take time for the new judge to get used to the system of deal making. And so why don't you ask for a transfer to another court? Ask for a transfer to this court, half an hour away, and there's reasons to transfer. And that judge there is almost nearing retirement, and he's been doing this all his life. This sweetheart of a deal you want, that judge will give you, but get out of this court. The prosecutor is telling me. I'm like, okay, great. So we made a transfer to the other court. We went there, and we went in front of the judge. And I said to the judge, this is the deal I want. And we were happy to resolve it. So this prosecutor who was so nice to me and told me all this stuff, that day in front of the judge, he takes a very aggressive position. No, 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 we don't agree with Mr. Chok. We want 3 years and we want a lot of money. And I'm looking at him like, what happened to you? And so anyways, so the judge didn't listen to the prosecutor, and he says, it's the first time, let this one go. And the judge on my side and telling the prosecutor to take the deal that earlier the prosecutor outside the court had agreed with me. So after the judge says, no, I'm agreeing with Mr. Chogai, move on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's move on. So then we came outside, and I said to the prosecutor, what happened to you? He says, well, I helped you, but inside the court, I have to act in favor of the government. So I'm sorry, I have to do all that stuff. I'm like, okay, great. Yeah, Mahesh.
Sir, plea bargaining also has the different another aspect also from the point of view of accused. I have seen many accused. They come to us and by the papers, I can smell that this person has done this activity, done this act, and still he wants that he should be go unpunished. In one of the murder trials, I tried to talk with my client that all the evidence is against you. So why don't we start by telling the judge that we are pleading the guilty and then we will go ahead. What he did, he changed the lawyer. And after some time, I saw that the punishment was hanged till death. So, so he met me. He was coming to the court for some reason, and he told me that, sir, you were very honest, but don't remain such honest that the people like me should change you. So
Yeah.
this is the way that what you are saying, sir, that people are ready to undergo 1 year imprisonment, 2 year imprisonment. Here, nobody wants to go in a jail. They are thinking that they are going to uh, go approach to the Supreme Court, to the High Court, to the Supreme Court, and they will remain unpunished for the activity. So this is the
Yeah.
thing.
So Mahesh, if a police stop or detain me, what rights do I have?
First of all, I think detention and arrest. First of all, thing the police can detain a person for asking some questions. Then the citizen has right to ask that for whether you have detained me, whether you have stopped me, whether you have brought me for simple inquiry or you have arrested me. This is the right of that person to ask. If that person is arrested, then within 24 hours, excluding the traveling time, that accused should be brought before the nearest magistrate. Because and also that that police should inform to the accused about the grounds of arrest, because under Article 22, every accused has a right to ask about the grounds of arrest, be informed, and he has the right to meet his friends, to his advocate, and also has right to keep silence before the police. And also the confession made before police is not acceptable. So these are the rights of the accused. police should get the panchanama done of arrest before one witness at least, and take that accused to the nearest medical center for medical checkup at least within 48 hours, and bring before him the magistrate, and then magistrate will decide whether he should go the magistrate custody or police custody. And police custody should not be more than 15 days. In CRPC, it was 15 days in one go. Now in BNS, they have changed that 15 days can be altered somehow. BNSS. Actually,
Thank you,
these
Mahesh.
new acts that make the lawyers confused because their names are such a Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita.
So it is basically the Hindi name of the prevalent act.
But
Indian
most
Indian
of us,
Penal Code
Hindi is
को
a language that we say, "अरे वो भीत आग पे आया."
so only
we are
Indian
not
Penal
in the,
Code IPC is converted to Hindi.
but
Yeah,
Hindi is not language of all Indians.
right.
So why is not so? Hindi is basically the mother tongue of the Indians.
No, 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 not mother tongue. My mother tongue is Marathi.
We have 29 states with 29 languages. When this
Yes.
Vikshit Bharat first happened, honestly, I had to go to Google to figure out what Vikshit means. I born and raised in Nagpur and lived there for 19 years, never heard the word Vikshit.
पग पग
Um,
पे पदले पानी पग पग पे वाणी.
Wait, no, no. So
yeah, I'm in Mangalore, South India today, Gitesh. I don't think this works in this town.
Yes, sir.
So Gitesh, lawyers are expensive and don't know where to find them, don't know who to trust. What is a common person supposed to do? What can a common person get legal help without spending a lot of money? What suggestions do you have?
So the government, the courts are providing the free legal aid cell for the clients. There are free legal aid cells. The client can approach to the court that I can't afford the lawyer. The court will provide him the lawyer, a competent lawyer. Or second part, he can go for the ADRs, which are costing lesser, cheaper.
In your opinion, are these lawyers that are being provided by the court, you think that system is working?
Yes, sir, that is working and pretty well.
Okay. Do these lawyers try to convert that client that's referred by
Definitely,
the
sir.
court into a private client and say, we'll do 1 hour for free and after that you have to pay us?
no,
No,
no, no,
sir.
no.
No.
It is
So
not possible for
it
them.
is totally free.
Okay.
They are the same public servant.
Yeah.
They have been
Okay.
paid by the government, and they cannot make them convert into their own advocates, their own clients, because then they're not allowed to practice.
And
Okay.
mediation is the best practice, sir. I think the mediation is the best practice to do.
What I think the best practice for the lawyers nowadays is for doctors, the preventive medicine is making them huge money. So is applicable to advocates that we should do the preventive legal practice. Preventive legal practice in the sense that we can do the conversing. Most of the cases come to us because of bad drafting of sale deeds, gift deeds, all the mistitled deeds. So this practice is very much good. The company compliances practice is good because that will prevent them from the unnecessary litigation, the mismaking of will, making a partition by the through the advocates is the preventive kind of practice where I can earn without going into the court process
without going through the court.
directly.
So
So
if
So
the lawyer is
Mahesh,
proficient
Mahesh,
and
since
the
yeah, Gitesh.
so if the lawyer is proficient and a simple legal notice and negotiations can end up around 60% of cases.
not
Right.
60% of this.
So I like doing these webinars with accomplished lawyers like you, and I don't like following any script or telling you any questions in advance. I feel like uh, if you were selected to be on this webinar, then no prior discussion or preparation is required. So I'm going to ask all four of you a question, and as we are getting close to our time, and the question is, if you're made law minister of India for 6 months and you can only do one thing, what would that be to fix the legal system of India and to uplift the profession and to get rid of the 60 million pending cases and do plea bargaining or whatever. So, or something creative. You are the law minister for 6 months and you can only do one thing, not two. What would you do? So while you're thinking about it, I want to ask, let's see, Mahesh. So Mahesh, since you're in the center of the country, and lawyers are not allowed to advertise, and it's a restraint of trade. Article 19 says there shall be no restraint on trade. There's freedom of speech, which is being violated, that we can't even tell people that we are a lawyer. So how about on August 15th, Independence Day, all of million lawyers of India put an ad in the newspaper? What will happen?
Okay.
Nothing
After
would happen.
becoming law minister,
That's a second question, but first tell me what will happen. See, this is our salt march and this is our passive movement for change. And we're not going on the street with weapons and we're not doing strikes and we're not doing anything. But I think if a million lawyers put an ad in a newspaper, I think not much anybody can do, and maybe the message will go through.
The
No,
Supreme Court can take suo moto on this and issue the notices to all the lawyers and warn all the lawyers. That's it.
yeah, they can warn us all they want, but the message is goes right. Like, we're the only people in the country that have handcuffs. We got India independence, 75 of the 100 were lawyers. And in 1947, we opened the prison doors and we let 350 million people out, 300 in India and 50 in Pakistan. And the 200,000 lawyers in 1947 stayed behind bars and locked the prison and threw the key away. So right now, we're the only people in India that are not free. We can't advertise, we can't have a booth at a conference, we can't have a website, we can teach. If we teach, we have to surrender our law license. If we start a pan ki dukan, we have to surrender our law license. We can take matters on a contingency basis. What is this? We're supposed to free the other 1.4 billion people. We're supposed to make sure that the rights of the other 1.4 billion people are protected. But we're the ones in shackles. The only people in India that are not free is us. Okay. Back to the Attorney General question or the Law Minister question. Um, who wants to go first? Ankit, you were writing something. Go ahead.
That's a very good question to really think of. Only one thing which I think I would change being a law minister, and this is coming from my practice in the courts, is that a lot of time I have seen this, and a lot of litigants face the issue that even we have the e-court system, however, the order sheets are not uploaded, and one doesn't know what the case stage is exactly as of date, and they are not updated regularly. So, order sheet is written, then the next proceeding, the next date, the order sheet is written again with the same thing, or something, just a little twisting of that thing. So if being a law minister, I could just change that thing and make it very compulsory that all the order sheets are uploaded, and there is a timeline that you cannot like repeat the same things on and on, and one that just becomes too transparent, and I think that would be a really game changer here.
Wow, amazing. I wonder if the law ministry has even knows about these order sheets. Okay. Hitesh, law minister, 6 months, one thing you can do.
I feel that there should be more judges to be appointed, because if you will see the 2011 report, it says that there are only 21 judges per million people. So that means there are only 21 judges per 10 lakh people. So in that cases, I feel that there should be more and more judges to be appointed. So there won't be any backlog of the cases. So I think that can be a very helpful for our country. So more and more judges has to be appointed.
Right. Yeah, I wonder what the worldwide averages are. I wonder what the judge to population ratio is
Yes.
in the 25 happiest and richest countries in the planet. But good, we'll look into it. And Shanti, this kind of data we have to publish on our website for the world to see. Gitesh,
I would ask the courts to categorize the cases according to the litigation wise, since several cases are of the same kind, of the same litigation, same process. So categorize all the cases in the parts and give the decisions altogether to the similar cases altogether. Give the single decision. So a lot
yeah.
of cases would be solved.
And so when the Satyam shareholders lost money in 2008 or 9 because of whatever happened at Satyam. So a bunch of people that lost money on the Satyam stock filed a lawsuit together, class action in India, and the courts in India threw the case out that we don't have class action system. In the meanwhile, the shareholders filed a class action lawsuit in United States and got a judgment very quickly, a settlement. The court didn't even have to rule. The insurance companies and this and that got involved. And if I remember correctly, 125 million was given to the shareholders in United States. And US didn't have as many Satyam shareholders as India did, but in India, the class action was thrown out. And purpose of the class action is to do what you were just saying, Gitesh, that similar cases on a similar set of plaintiffs, defendants, whatever, should be resolved collectively so that there is not a burden on the court.
Of the court.
Okay, Mahesh, you get the last word. Attorney, law minister for 6 months. One
If
thing.
I were the law minister, I will make the judiciary more independent. I would not indulge in their day-to-day work. I will give them autonomy of spending for the infrastructure. I will give them autonomy that they should take their own decision, because judges are good. It's only political pressure that is making them more corrupt. So I should not indulge in their day-to-day or any other work.
Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. Um, so I want to read you a statute in some court somewhere in the world. Um, it says that a judge has the power to manage proceedings in his or her courtroom in any matter they deem fit. That's what we need. Trust the judges and give them the freedom to run the court any which way they want, like this Ankit's order sheet. So I don't know how many courts there are in India, but even if the judges and the courts had the power to fix things on their own, then maybe half of the courts, the order sheets would be fixed. And that's surprising that not one state has stood out in India that has the least amount of backlog, has the most electronic systems in their courts, and the court appointments, the court hearings are by appointment. So when you show up in court, there's nobody but you, and things are being done in an orderly fashion. So whenever I say that to people, that how come there isn't one state where everything is working perfect? And like you said, Mahesh, it's because the states and the districts and the cities and the courts are not being given the freedom to run their operations in a manner they deem fit. Thank you. Any last comments by anyone?
Thank you, sir.
All right. So happy that you guys are running Thane and Alwar and Dehradun and Jalgaon. Every time now I eat, after I met you, Mahesh, every time now when I eat a banana, I think of you.
Yes, sir.
Famous Jalgaon bananas. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Thank you, Shanti, Ritvik, Shruti.
you.
They work for Indian Lawyers Association. Thank you. We're making great
Thank you.
progress.
Thank you to you, sir, for
Thank you, sir.
providing us a platform.
I'm enjoying it thoroughly. And in 20 minutes, we'll launch ILA Mangalore.
Great.
Great.
Thank you so
Target,
much.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Chalo. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.